On balance team, representing the People's Republic of China, Ke Qinqin.
四叉跳上，4叉180，原地接环的连接出现了中断，手翻，前团。动作稍微有点紧，看看他的后半套。挺身前空翻，原地结环跳，接倒叉，这个连接做得非常好。侧空翻，横分，竖分。逆转360，准备下法。剑字后腿2轴下，Ke Qinqin.
On June 25th, 2026, in Zunyi, China, a 15-year-old gymnast competed in her first senior international all-around event on the largest stage of her young career. She defeated a current world championship medalist right away. This was not a close win, nor was the outcome determined by the tiniest of margins. But before we go any further, you may subscribe to the channel for free in just 2 seconds if you enjoy these kinds of videos. Now, let's go back to our video. During her senior debut season, she defeated a teammate who had won the global balance beam title that same week and won world bronze in the same event just 8 months prior at the 2025 Global Championships in Jakarta by a huge margin of 0.633 points. That same week, thousands of miles away, 64-year-old Nadia Comaneci was in Montreal celebrating 50 years since she became the first gymnast in Olympic history to receive a perfect 10 at the age of 14. Her name is Ke Qinqin. 2 teenagers, 2 generations, and 2 occasions when a young gymnast appeared on a stage far larger than her background suggested make the similarity unavoidable. The world was so unprepared when Comaneci created history that the scoreboard itself was unable to show the score. Half a century later, Ke is starting her own senior tale under the same type of spotlight. However, what is the true extent of this analogy, and where does it fall apart? Ke Qinqin's journey is far from where you would anticipate a future national champion to start, therefore you need to understand her true origins. Ke Qinqin was born in Hubei Province, China, in 2010. Her parents later relocated to Guangdong Province as migrant laborers, seeking the kind of jobs that drive millions of Chinese families annually, from smaller inland areas to the industrial south. She was raised in Guangdong's manufacturing city of Dongguan, which is more well known for its manufacturers and exports than for producing world-class gymnasts. She came from a working family that had previously relocated in search of a better life, with a young daughter who just so happened to show talent for tumbling along the way. Discovered, almost by accident, rather than through some intentional athletic plan established years earlier, and no gymnastics tradition passed down through the generations. Ke began official gymnastics instruction in Dongguan in September 2016 at the age of 6. It was a small, local start in a sport that, at the top level in China, is dominated by a few well-funded provincial programs with decades of institutional history, backed by facilities and coaching pipelines that a gym in a manufacturing area just couldn't match. Nobody, least of all her own parents, could have imagined where this trip would ultimately take a 6-year-old who was starting her first tumbling lesson in a manufacturing city, and whose parents had relocated there for factory employment, rather than athletic aspirations. Ke's talent let her advance, through the ranks gradually, one step at a time, which is how most Chinese gymnasts must advance before they can ever be considered for a national team squad. She joined the Shenzhen Gymnastics team in June 2019, a step up competitively within Guangdong Province, and evidence that coaches outside her original small club had started to notice what she could do, as there are no shortcuts for a child from a city without an elite pedigree behind her. Then, in November 2021, she was accepted as a full member of the Guangdong Provincial Gymnastics team, one of China's more powerful regional programs. This gave a young girl who had started out in a city known for manufacturing rather than medals a genuine opportunity. to train alongside some of the nation's most talented young gymnasts and finally have access to the caliber of coaching and competition her talent had been outgrowing for years. The outcomes were gradual rather than abrupt. At the People's Republic of China's inaugural National Student and Youth Games in November 2023, Ke won gold individually on the vault with a time of 12.889 and gold on the balance beam with a time of 13.526. He also added silver on uneven bars and assisted Guangdong in winning a silver medal as a team. Even though it wasn't enough to make her a national name outside of gymnastics circles, closely following junior development, it was an impressive performance for a 13-year-old, the kind of outcome that gets a young gymnast recognized inside her province. It would still be years before anyone outside of China would know who she was. As she advanced to the senior level and faced more difficult international competition, balance beam in particular was already starting to become her hallmark event. This was a crucial feature. Ke placed 6th in the all-around at the 2024 Chinese Championships, which is effectively the most competitive domestic gymnastics meet China produces each year and pits every serious gymnast in the nation against the whole senior and junior field. For a 14-year-old competing against China's most talented gymnasts, who come from every province with an elite program countrywide, it's a decent finish, but it's hardly the kind of placement that makes a gymnast stand out as a potential champion. In a nation with China's level of national depth, placing 6th is the kind of result that is recorded and then mostly ignored. One name among dozens of gifted juniors vying for a small number of senior positions that would not become available to most gymnasts, finishing in that range for years, if at all. 6th place at the Nationals may have seemed like a good but unremarkable step for a gymnast whose family had already moved once while pursuing opportunity. It was proof of progress, but it was far from proof of what lay ahead. Everything changed in 2025. In that year, Qi's name went from being buried in 6th place to becoming a gymnast that no one in Chinese gymnastics could afford to ignore. At the Chinese Junior Championships, Ke won the all-around championship. At the Chinese Junior National Games, she triumphed once more. Then, in November 2025, she produced an incredibly impressive medal haul at the 15th National Games of the People's Republic of China, one of the nation's largest and most competitive domestic sporting events, which are contested across all age groups and disciplines and are roughly comparable in scale and prestige to a National Olympics held every 4 years, bringing together elite athletes from every province, regardless of age category. She helped Guangdong win gold in the youth team competition and won the individual all-around, balancing beam, uneven bars, and vault titles in her youth division. Along with her Guangdong colleagues Hu Jiafei, Liang Yating, Zhongqi, Pang Sijin, and He Xiaoyuan, she added an individual all-around title, a balance beam title, and a team silver in the separate senior category at the same games. As a 15-year-old competing in both youth and senior divisions in the same week, Ke Qinqin finished the competition with 5 gold medals and 2 silver, totaling 7 medals from her games debut. This workload is enough to wear out much more seasoned gymnasts, let alone one who is still a year away from full senior eligibility on the international circuit. Ke's first significant senior international test was the Asian Gymnastics Championships, and the field was anything but simple. South Korea's Hwang Seo-hyun, Japan's Nishiyama Misa, the current junior world floor exercise champion, and Zhang Jinjing, the 2025 World Championship bronze medalist and world balance beam champion. However, Ke gave an impressive 56.299 total, scoring 13.733 on vault, 14.4 on uneven bars, 14.1933 on balance beam, and 13.233 on floor. In her first senior international all-around final, Zhang finished with a score of 55,666, meaning the 15-year-old defeated a proven world medalist by 0.623 points. China won gold and silver, while Nishiyama of Japan won bronze with 54.799. However, Ke did not control every event, which made the breakthrough even more remarkable rather than foreseeable. Zhang Qingying won gold in the balance beam final with a score of 15,266, while Ke won silver with a score of 15.1, demonstrating that this was a real competition between the best gymnasts in China. Ke had previously demonstrated at the age of 15 that she could withstand pressure from senior international teams and overcome a current world medalist on her first try. The most important question now that her senior career is only getting started is if this breakthrough will eventually lead to an Olympic run for Los Angeles in 2028. If you enjoyed this incredible and exciting video, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next video. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and as always, thanks for watching.